experience with like electrical and programming, while also still having like a chance to do more fabrication stuff. Yeah. So how my box works, if I open it up, you can see on the inside we have an Arduino Uno, which acts as the brains of my thing, and then it's connected to all these different things that you can see mounted here. This is an LCD screen that sends messages to the user, things like put in a password or no, you got the password wrong. And here's a keypad where you like put in the password. Here's a button, and here's a fingerprint scanner. So and here's a servo, which acts as my locking mechanism with this thing up here. So if I turn on my thing, it'll automatically lock, so now I can no longer open the box. So to do it, I follow the instructions put on the LCD screen, and I put in the password, which I just made it 1, 2, 3, 4 for demonstration purposes. And then I scan my finger on this fingerprint scanner right here. Yeah, so it recognizes my finger, and then the thing when I open, so I can take out my playing card. To lock the box, I just press this red button, but for now, I'll just keep it open. Okay, so another feature that I will demonstrate will actually be what happens if you get the password wrong. So in this case, I made sort of like an alarm system where I set the number to 5, so if I get the password wrong 5 times, so like I'll just keep putting in the wrong password. Yeah. It'll start beeping. It'll stop in a couple seconds, but in like future, I might just keep going until you put in the right password. So, in the meantime, some challenges that I faced when doing this was honestly mainly down to 2 things. One was like space management for this box. At first, all of my wires and everything were kind of exploding everywhere, so I couldn't like put things in my box. Like it was just all taken up by wires. So to fix that, I made a CAD of the thing so I could figure out like how much space each component would take, and then I like moved things around until everything fit. On the inside, I don't know if you guys saw, but there was this like fake wall that I made out of wood, and then I just mounted everything to there, and I did a bunch of wire managing with like zip ties and like electrical tape and stuff. My second main challenge was the like locking mechanism itself. Like as you can see, when you tug on the lid, like there's a lot of force on the thing. So at first, I actually had a 3D printed part, which promptly snapped after I pulled on it too hard. So to fix that, I made a new one. Or I didn't make it. I just took one that was made out of metal, and then I like stuck it on the lid. So hopefully that should make it stronger and not break. From this experience, I learned a lot about like how to be more independent in research. When I'm doing before, I was honestly pretty dependent on other people. If I didn't know something, my first instinct was just be like, "Hey, help me." But from this, I learned more of like researching myself first, so I could figure out how to do it on my own before reaching someone else for help. And I also just learned a lot more about like electrical and programming in general. And I got certified on most of the tools here except for the X-Acto knife. Thank you, Sarah. So my next steps for this project are to, number 1, make a feature where I can input a new password and a new fingerprint without having to re-upload all the code. And my second one is to stick a Nerf gun on it so that if you get it wrong enough times, you get shot with a Nerf gun. Yeah. Thank you.
How would you plan on like implementing the Nerf gun?
Oh yeah, I actually did some research on that. So I don't want any wires to stick out of my box, so I'll probably connect them with Bluetooth, and I'll have like a servo or maybe like a solenoid or something to like pull the trigger back so that it'll shoot. And I was also researching how to make it automatic so I could shoot more people. Yeah, so I learned that you can like take it apart and like put motors in it so that it'll like constantly just spin, so it can like keep spitting out the bullets. Yeah.
On the fingerprint sensor, do you store like multiple fingerprints? Or how does that work as far as how many people could potentially use the box?
I think it's up to 127 fingerprints that I can put on here. So now I just have mine. But they have like a software that you can just like upload and then you can like enroll more fingerprints.